Welcome to the Kel Fire Show. I'm Dr. Kelly Barron, and my guest today is Mr. Steven Segars, a very old and good friend of yours. You're not old. Well, you are.
Your producer called me old. You called me old.
You are old.
She said, "Can you step over this?" I'm like, "It's 6 inches off the ground."
Well, that's a stretch. You might break a hip.
Coincidentally, I go to get my knee brace Monday. So you were correct, but I'm not old.
You're getting a knee brace?
No, I have that hobby that I do, hunting.
Oh.
So, and I just busted my knee a few months ago, and so I had to get fitted for a knee brace so I can continue doing my hobby. It has nothing to do with this show.
Well, this show is not about knee braces.
It's just your producer called me old. So.
Or how old Steven is, because AARP.
You gotta start over.
Okay. So Steven is I can't say old now. Longtime friend, and as is his wife Robin, and Steven is here today so that we can get the opposing view of menopause and what it's like.
I wouldn't call it opposing. It's got to be a supportive view.
Look at him, supportive view. I know you
if
are.
You're
you
doing anything other than supporting your wife during menopause, you are doomed.
This is going to be good.
Well, that's
All right. Well, why don't you give us a little background, a little story on your experience with your wife going through menopause?
Well, you'd have never known my wife was going through menopause. I can just tell you that. I had no idea until something else happened after menopause, right after, because she's not, she's not high maintenance. She's not needy. She's not whiny. She's just good, considerate. Hold on, I get my notes.
It says there, she's beautiful, she's lovely.
Smart, strong, anyway. So, anyways, she's none of those things that some men complain about, but it was a little bit different. She complained she had a hot flash here and wasn't sure what was going on. And then it was like probably a week later, and it was, there's if I get this name wrong, it's the IUD.
The IUD.
It's like a Marina, that's a Marina. I think that's the name brand, but it's an IUD. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she has one of those that she had to help her, I guess, women regulate. So men should really appreciate that because
hold on, the song just went through my head. Regulators, mount up. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So she thought, which I'm not a woman, I have no idea, I'm just supportive. She said, "I think I'm going to get that taken out because I think I just went through menopause." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great, whatever do you need to do?" So I stay out of that part. I just don't, whenever you need me, I'll be there, whatever. So she goes to OBGYN and she gets this Marina, the IUD, I'm going to call it IUD, taken out. So what I learned that the couple, within 24 hours, the IUD that keeps the semen or the whatever out from the woman getting pregnant actually holds the demons in. So it's a wall. It's like the Trump wall. He's building a wall. Hold the demons out, so the OBGYN took this thing out, and so my wife went to the OBGYN, and I'm not sure what came back. So it was traumatic. Her hormones were screwed up, and I'm like, and now this is not trying to get sex or anything like this. This was just trying to have a conversation. Like, where do you want to go for dinner? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, that doesn't happen.
It normally doesn't happen at all. Where do you want to go? Before the IUD and menopause, where are we going to be? It was easy. Hey, you want to go to here? You want to go here? Then I was like, what the fuck do you want? I mean, why do you look at me? Quit breathing. And just like, oh, fuck. I said, and then try it. So I try and say something. Now, my wife has one fault. She's never wrong. And if you try and tell her that, she'll make you clear that she is never wrong. And even when she's wrong, she's still never wrong. And you don't ever point that out. So I will say this. That was not in my notes, by the way, so I went off script on that one.
Yeah, she's gonna yell.
Be in trouble for that one. Anyway, so I tried to talk to her. To the point I actually called her friend. I'm like, hey, you got to talk to her. You got to do something. Something's going to give. And she was going, and she kind of started to accept it. So this went on for about 10 days. I'm like, you got to do something. I'm going to go stay somewhere else. It was so bad. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And now I'm getting pent up because I'm a highly sexual driven person. So because I'm not even trying to touch that. Sorry. Love you. Sorry. Whatever. Love you. Anyway, so she went back to the OBGYN and they doctor talked to her. Don't know the conversation, wasn't there, wish I would have been, but put the demon blocker back in, and she came on. It was 12 hours, and I think that's probably one of the times she apologized. She goes, I don't know what was going on. And I'm like, so this is the menopause thing that combined with that. So my advice to men, one, if your wife's going through menopause and she's heat flashing and it's a known thing, and it's nothing to do with IUD, then you better be supportive. I mean, you better just be considered over the top. But if there's an IUD in there, go to the OBGYN with her and voice your concerns from my experience, because it might save your life, depending on your wife.
The demons? Did you ask to keep the demons in? I've never.
That's my story with that IUD and what we went through, but the menopause was, and I don't know when. To be honest, she doesn't know really when it started, but there was just kind of hot flashes and mood swings a little bit, and so we got over that pass. It was easy, and but it was that led into, and the OBGYN explained that to her. After menopause, the IUD, it could have a hormonal thing. And they should put that on a warning label. That should be somewhere in writing, and men should have to sign for that.
Like during your wedding vows?
Yeah, maybe that early, right?
If we make it. After
the last kid goes off to college and you're empty nesters, there should be some kind of disclosure in fine print. Hey, let's go over this fine print again, because something bad might happen to you in the future.
So, was that the only? Like you said, you didn't notice anything leading up to that.
Minor things.
And then after she went back to the OBGYN, it just calmed down?
Oh, yeah. She went back to normal. I mean, she's completely back to normal. And that thing's never coming out. She will be in bomb with that thing in there. Whatever bomb created, whatever cream.
But whatever she doesn't need it anymore.
No, fuck. She does. Okay. She can take it out and come stay with you. Have fun with that. I know you're power lifter and MMA, but she might give you a run for the money with the demons helping her.
Did the doctor say why that particular thing is regulating her hormones?
It was could be one of the effects. That's.
This is new.
Now I'm getting the information from my wife, who is feeling bad about her behavior. So I wasn't there for that. That's why I recommend the men go with. If we had to do all over again, I would be there at every appointment, or those two appointments. The one disastrous appointment of taking it out, and then the one miracle appointment of putting it back in.
And then bring champagne.
Because I would have watched. I would make sure that son of a bitch goes right back where it was at. And possibly me just being serious. Can we hit me 2 times?
Yeah.
Can we do 2 of them? Is that a thing?
The titanium version?
They're like a little T, so let's just make it a little X. Just put those 2 in there.
Plug it in.
Because that son of a bitch will stay in her for, she'll never take it out. Not on my watch, anyways. Do that shit when I'm out of town and then put it back.
Put it back in. Just air out for a second. That's terrible. Where did I come up with that? Just let 2 or 3 of the demons out. You got to let them get out for a little while, run around, terrorize the universe.
That's what alcohol's for.
True.
Yeah. And she's not. She doesn't. That's a lie. We drink a lot. We love to have a good time. We're empty nesters, and so we just. But I'm with my job now, traveling a lot, so it's we enjoy the time. Like, I came back in late Thursday night, and Friday night was, it's time when you're getting old, when like bedtimes are gets a little early. Not in your case, you stay out way late.
No, typically it's like 9 o'clock. I'm old.
But it's we have the drinks and stuff like that, so it's nice. But yeah, we didn't see the menopause. It snuck up on us. Like her friend, her and Amy, just her best friend who's been there through thick and thin and all that. But I don't want to comment. Oh well, shit, I don't have any boundaries. But I think she had a tough time, and I don't think her husband is quite as understanding as most men. So, and he's a great patriot, and he's a retired colonel, but maybe that has a little to do with the rigidness. But I think she had a little bit tough time with the hot flashes and all that. Normal menopause, of what you hear about. So,
But did you notice, or can you describe a hot flash? Or are you just getting the description
No, she there was just a couple times during the few weeks before the week before. I don't remember the exact timing of it, but it was sweats, and then in the middle of the night, sweats, and then she and there was one or two times she was just, and she thought, like, we do a shot everyone. She's not a shooter, like a liquor shooter. We do a shot of whatever, green apple or something like that, green apple, and she'd get up. She goes, "Oh, it was just alcohol, just a shot." I'm like, "Okay." So I dismissed it the same. But then another time, she'd just be in the kitchen or walking or whatever in the house, and she was like, whew. And she's like,
And you thought it was you. You were like, "I know."
Yeah.
You're like, "Lord, you're looking good."
And then I knew it was not me, because what the fuck? No.
Why are you breathing?
No, that didn't came right then. She was. You didn't know. She was as confused about it, and I won't speculate what women go through. Any man that thinks they can do what women do with the childbirth and all that, they're fucking full of shit. So fuck you guys. You can't stand. You don't hold a candle. But my thing was, if I can say, women investigate. So because my woman.
Your woman.
My woman. That was so disrespectful. My wife. It just caught her off guard, I think. That's all. Which caught me off guard. So just educate, maybe. I don't know. Read about it.
Was she even contemplating menopause or anything about it before it all sort of...
We were contemplating strokes before we were contemplating menopause. we're practicing stroke tests. We should have been practicing fucking anti-demon shit. That's... We're sitting there, hold your hands up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you count? Can you touch your nose? Whatever those fucking stroke tests, at the end of the day, I had a minor stroke back in 2015. You know about that. But I passed all the stroke tests. And I'm like, there should have been a different test with this whole menopause IUD shit.
Okay, yeah. So what would be on this test?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think you'd have to have a checklist. So if your wife, you're getting to that age, I will say this, like they preach to men colonoscopies. It used to be 50. Go get one. 50, whatever. Now it's 45. All right. So whatever that age that for women, if it's 45 to, we need to start preaching that, like we preach male colonoscopies. Hey, get checked for your menopause might be coming. It might, or just educate. At the same time, the men need to get prepared as well. So, because colonoscopy is not the same. I'm just saying we preach that to men for health things. So it should be the same. Preach it to women and men or married couples. A woman living on a cat lady going through menopause. Who gives a fuck?
The cats might.
Whatever. Sorry to all those cat women, but there's cat men too, which is really weird. But I preach it to and educate yourself that you can be ready for it. And what was your original question?
I don't know. I got fascinated because I started thinking, like, You know how there's childbirth education classes, like when you're pregnant and you got to take your spouse and you have to go.
Yeah.
Now you can have the menopause classes.
I would be full support of that. I think that, I mean, if I was elected president, I would make that a law.
If you were elected president, that would be the law.
Yeah.
You must go through menopause training as a couple.
Yes, that's that would be. It would probably save a lot of. I don't know that anybody's ever been physically killed or hurt over menopause, but it's trying sometimes.
I honestly, there probably is data on that because women's hormones go just crazy, and then you don't even know who you are sometimes.
Yeah, and Robin, if she was sitting right here, she would tell you right out. She did not know who she was. Not during that time.
Right.
And it was I do remember her telling me that, and again, I'm getting this third party. I know I love her and I trust her, but get it, she's got to go back to the thing that she's never wrong.
Right.
Okay, so if I got the information correctly from her, OB/GYN with the IUD and those hormonal things combined with menopause can create that situation. And that situation was terrifying. So,
are you leery now? Do you keep an eye out, or you feel like if she's good?
Fucking IUD's up there. I don't worry about shit. She's back. She's bad. She's good to go.
Any other friends or stories or experiences of women going through menopause that you've heard? Friends' wives?
So I shared this with a couple of professional gentlemen that I have, and in my career, that I was going to be a guest on your show. And if I got I know that it was Kelfire show, but I said, because I saw Menopause and Martinis, one of your shows.
Yeah.
I said, it's about menopause, and I think they drink martinis on there. So I used one of the old titles. And I got there's 3 individuals, men my age, who their wife has either gone through it or not gone through it or getting ready to go through it. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? What are you trying to do? I'm like, well, have you not gone through it yet? Well, that's none of your fucking business. I'm like, well, maybe it should be, because I could probably help you or save you a little bit. Or if you've gone through it and you want to talk about it, that means you were an asshole. You didn't adjust to what she was going through. And so I got the same response from him, but I'm like, it needs to be, it's nothing, men are not, you just need to be understanding. You need to know, look for the signs. And maybe you're right, maybe there should be a test for, sweetie, we want to do something out of the ordinary. If you get the fuck off, maybe something's going on. But I don't know what the test is. I'm not a doctor, and so, but maybe the OB/GYNs need to look at that.
So it just fascinates me, because I never know what men talk about. I just assume. But they don't talk about menopause. Like, you don't go sit around, have a bourbon and a cigar and be like, hey.
I've told this fucking story to a lot of people about my other guys about trying to save them. Because I have some professional friends whose wives are fucking crazy. And that's just when they were 30 and 40. So my wife is very calm, very not neat. Like I said in the beginning, I get my notes back out. She's beautiful, not needy, low maintenance. Strong, independent, and very caring, but she's not sweet. Okay. Anyways, there's some wives that are nuts out there. No offense to wives, just to their personality, and they get along. I've seen them interact, but I know that they will throw hands with a grown man in a biker bar with the right amount of tequila. So if they're going through menopause, you better be careful.
Maybe it'll have the opposite effect.
Oh, that's wishful thinking. I love your optimism, but that's probably not fucking true at all.
Hold on, I'm having a hot flash now. Hold on. It's burning.
Yeah. It's a savior for men. I think the testing thing you mentioned. So if you can, the OB/GYNs can figure something out like that, like a stroke test. Because you shouldn't be doing a stroke test before you do menopause test.
No, you shouldn't be. I don't know what's going on if you are.
That's it.
Any other advice for your fellow gentlemen out there dealing with their wives or partners, or besides, being supportive?
Well, to each, I think that each individual situation is going to be different. But if you're that type of husband that is married to a strong, independent woman that doesn't need anything from a man or whatever, she doesn't need her doors open. She doesn't need to go first. She doesn't need you to pay the bill. Whatever it is, whatever the thing. But in my nature, that's how I was raised. I do the door thing. I do you go first. Whatever. If that's not your situation, and your wife is and going through this and takes that bad turn, you might not be prepared for. You don't might be prepared. I mean, you got to be aware, and you got to be considerate, and you got to be supportive and understanding, and then you got to, if it needs be, you need to be absent. Get the fuck out of there, and let her do her thing, and whatever. Go on a charter fishing trip or something, or go hunting like I did that week after the IUD thing. I went camping a lot. So but there's different ways of support. So every individual is different. Every couple's different. So I can't speak. I just can speak from what I went through, which was, I was very blessed to not have the bad menopause. Could you imagine if I had a bad menopause and that fucking IUD demon thing came out?
Well,
this would be a different conversation. There would be glass and bars. I would be on the other side. You'd be on visiting me, and we'd be doing a show in jail, whatever. It would have been a different situation.
Well, you got lucky, because perimenopause can go for like 10 years. And it can start as there's no definitive age.
What did you say, 10 years?
Oh, easily. Because it can start in your late 30s, early 40s, like
that
40.
IUD's never coming out.
And it can go. Well, how do you know that she's gone through menopause? What is the defining?
OBGYN told her that. Again, getting this information from her. So I have no reason to doubt her.
So the definition is, menopause is 1 day. It's 1 day. It's when you've gone through
1 day to 10 years. What the hell?
Perimenopause. So perimenopause is, if you're not pre, you're post. So you're childbearing, and then you go into perimenopause. So your hormones, your estrogen, your testosterone, progesterone, everything. The biggest one is your estrogen. It starts to waver and then start to decline. And then the 24 hours, 365 days after the woman has had her last period, her last menstrual cycle. She's not had it for 12 months. That 1 day is menopause. And then you're postmenopause after that.
Yeah, I missed that on the fucking calendar. It was just some hot flashes and some shit that went on afterward.
And this is why men need education.
Oh yeah.
Because if they knew, hey, this could be a 10+ year ride.
Yeah, you better pack your bags for that one. I mean, I don't mean to leave. You better pack your patience and a go bag just in case you need the survival, and just I can't imagine 10 years. No, what the fuck? I don't even know what that is.
Well, okay, so
because you said it. I was very blessed. I'm gonna tell you, if that is the case, if there's men going out through there and this is going on for 2 years and their wife is the thing, take her to the OBGYN, get that fucking demon thing stuck in her and see what happens. It might solve some problems. Maybe that's, I don't know. I'm just telling you because I'm not a doctor, but I will say this to my wife, Robin, hey, thank you. That's it. Because it's been very easy for me. So maybe I'm not the right person. I'm just telling some good stories, but maybe a guy that's been through it, that bad. Oh, 10 years, goddamn.
I don't know. I've never heard.
I could have a drink for that.
I've never heard an IUD, it being something that can regulate the hormones. But so I want to research it now.
So have you had an OBGYN on this show?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking.
I know. I need to bring.
And get Robin's because I can find out the truth.
That's what I'm gonna do. So Hearsay has.
Steven
gave me a list of questions.
I'll have Robin sign that HIPAA thing so he can disclose everything.
Well, typically, women either go the hormone route or the non-hormone route, but they'll have estrogen, so they'll get hormone therapy, which may be what the IUD is doing, in some form or fashion, like birth, because it's birth control. I just think you got so lucky. I think you need to go buy that woman some jewelry.
Oh, she got jewelry.
she got, here's your menopause ring, and here's your menopause earrings.
She got a lot of pictures, a lot of vacations, a lot of sandal vacations. So she's that just goes back to her being her. She deserves all that. But no, if there should be a prize for a woman not having the bad case, she wins that prize. Because it was not a bad time.
What would you do, or what would you tell guys? You already said, like, get out, but if you're in the doghouse now, her hormones are going nuts. And it doesn't mean menopause. It's just women that are very strong and in this age group. We've lived our lives. We're not taking shit anymore. We've already been there, done that. Right. What like one thing, you're on the spot. She snaps. She tells you why you're breathing. What's the first thing you do?
I love you.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, then you're going to get hit.
Take it. What are you going to do? I mean, if you hit back, you need to be stabbed in the eyeball. Yeah. But if you just say something sweet and go buy her flowers or whatever, candy or favorite dessert or something, or take her to Taco Bell if that's her thing, I don't know. But do something, but don't ever go back. Don't ever give back, because I'm married to a woman. If you, cause, we're just like any other couple. We have a little spats, whatever. But she gets what she gives. So it took me a couple years in our marriage to figure that out. So I just give sweet. Now she is not sweet. This is self-known. She was not a sweet woman. She's considered kind woman, but she'll tell you if she's sitting here, she's not a sweet woman. She is her mother's daughter, and my mother-in-law, love her to death, but she's not a sweet woman. Strong, just direct, blunt. But there's a difference, but considerate. So you can be considerate, not sweet. So that's with that being said. But if she gives something, we have a spat or disagreement or argument, it gets to an argument thing. It took me a few years to learn. I give it back in a different way. I get back exactly what I'm giving her. So if I talk with a calm voice and, hey, this is what I'm trying to get across to you, I get a calm voice back. So all that shit's out the window when it's menopause, with bad cases. Not with my bad case. Now, the case with me with the IUD thing, that was tough to navigate. But I'm thinking that maybe the menopause, there's things that are comparable to what she was going through with other men and women without the IUD. So you got to give it over the top sweetness and kindness and consideration and prayer, a lot of prayer, a lot of whatever your religion is. I mean, whatever it is. And if you don't believe in a higher power, then go hug a tree or something and pray to it and Mother Earth and, hey, get me through this. But I don't know. I'm just telling you, it can be tough, and that's advice I would give to men.
All right, so you have,
and there's no advice a man could ever give to a woman.
None.
Let's be careful.
Zero.
None.
Zero.
And if the man's trying to give the advice to a woman, I think I've made that mistake once or twice early in my relationship and marriage, and it doesn't ever work out well.
No.
What the fuck do I know about being a woman and what the women go through in periods and all this and childbirth? Get the fuck out of here, you dumb men. Just be considerate. Just follow. Just be loving. Just don't think you can give advice to them, especially about that menopause.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so since you...
What do we do? We have a gallstones. What is it?
You have kidney stones.
Kidney stone, yeah.
Gout?
Gout. Pass it, which I don't have gout, by the way. And I've never passed a kidney stone, but I watched my dad do it one time, and I'm like, oh my God, is that... Literally made this statement. This is a true fucking story. Made this statement when I was probably 25. I was traveling a lot, so I was back in town, and my dad was not feeling good. He was in the bed. I stopped by my mom and dad's house. At the moment, he was trying to pass a kidney stone.
Oh.
And I'm out the hallway trying to be supportive of my dad. Dad, you need anything? Whatever. You know, at this time he was like 70-something years old. And I'm like, Dad, you need, well, maybe it was upper 60s. And no, I'm like, is this, and I made the comment, I said, is this like what women go through when they give childbirth? And I hear from my mom, are you crazy? That's nothing. I can pass 3 kidney stones. And I'm like, oh shit, never mind. So, there's nothing, no comparison to what women go through with that. So, any men's giving women advice about,
no,
give career advice, give.
Well, that's not going to be good either.
Yeah, no, it's really
not going to be good. But
I'm just trying.
I mean,
I'm trying to cater to the dumbass guys that think they can still give advice to women. So, just go with what.
Best advice is no advice.
Exactly.
Or like twisting it so that it was like she thinks she gave that advice.
Oh yeah, I'm really good at that.
Are you? It's a skill you've learned. Maybe you should teach classes.
My wife thinks she's the smartest woman in the world, and I take full credit for that because I give her the ideas in a way that no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. She's the smartest woman in the world.
Yeah, it's in your notes.
I left that part out. She told me that last night.
Did you?
Sure, no, but I didn't write that one down because I'm pretty much the smartest man in the room. So,
right.
And I noticed I said man in the room.
I know you were that was smooth. That was really smooth. Since you didn't experience a whole ton of time under menopause, so this will be a fun question for you. Name me 3 symptoms of menopause.
Hot flashes, sweats, and anger.
Oh, that's good. I should have made that tougher.
Was that supposed to last a little bit longer?
No, that was good. But I was hoping you would stumble on something.
No, but mine was easy. I mean, ask a guy that's been through ask a guy that's had his better path, has gone through a bad menopause. His answers could be different. It could. I mean, I can't even imagine what their answers could be. I had a mild one.
Well, yeah, we went down. Rachel and I were down in Tampa, Florida, at the headquarters for Tempesta, and so Ivan, who's in that office over there right now, we just pulled guys, some of the guys that work there, and I just hit him. I'm like, oh, let's talk about the company and your role in here, and I'm like, tell me 3 symptoms of menopause, and everybody was breaking. No, Michael did a good job. Michael was really good. But
What was his?
Oh, he went through hot flashes.
Don't repeat what I said. What did he say?
No, that's what he said. Hot flashes. He might have said night sweats and maybe brain fog or something. Hormone imbalance. Ivan was struggling, and I hit him with, I go, talk to me about vaginal dryness. And he just was like, no. No, what? Yeah, we women have to go through it. Just hell. Everything falls apart.
I can't imagine.
It's
an unfair thing.
I thought post having a child was the most traumatic thing. Nothing's in the same place anymore. Now nothing's in the same place, and I don't know who I am half the time. And I got a lot of anger issues.
That's one of those things that's why I say, and I hear these men tell stories sometimes or complain about their wives. I'm like, that's something I've never done, so I just complain. But I just hear the stories, and I'm like, you can't bear a child. You don't bleed for 7 days every month. You don't have the postpartum. You're not, menopause is not in your future. What the hell we have a hard time for, And let's just be honest about this, the sex, and the woman is sex. So I'm telling you right now, as a man, I am batting 1,000. Every time we have sex, I am satisfied. That is not the case for the women, and that's any case in any relationship. The woman normally gets the short end of the stick, and men, you're literally.
That's like a 2-year-old. Sorry.
I was trying to cater to all men, just all shapes and sizes, but you've got to be more considerate in the bedroom that will help with this situation.
I agree.
Yeah, if you're a selfish lover or selfish in the bedroom or whatever y'all wherever it is, then you're gonna have a harder time.
I think that's one of the biggest things in menopause because your hormones drop. Not all women, a large percentage of women, their sex drive just plummets at this age.
Is there any case of women's sex drive going up?
Yes, there are. It's a smaller percentage, but it does.
Where's those women at? And who are those men? Who are men that they're married to? That's a guess. I mean, their women's drive goes up during menopause?
There are some, yeah, because it's all hormone based. So, and if you have testosterone, which is going to kick in a little of that for her, and an estrogen, but they start to go out of whack. I mean, think about it. If let's say estrogen
I'm thinking really hard about like, trying to figure that one out.
Are you thinking like, I need to go into the lab and create this little mixture?
Thinking I got it easy, but I'm thinking I might get a short end of the stick on this one. I'm like, maybe she hasn't gone through menopause and there's a sex drive coming.
Yes.
Be great. Thank you for the confidence.
You're welcome. I'm here anytime to give you that vote of confidence. But it's true. Like, that's a really big thing, because then they don't feel sexy. Then they feel like, oh, now we're upsetting you, but it's hard to like get into it, and it's nothing to do with the man. I mean, okay, I can't say that across the board, but in general, when it drops like that, you just need more.
No, the women love. I mean, in most cases, the women love their husband. The man loves the woman. Something going on with that, and the woman's just trying to do the. I don't want to say anything that offends anybody, but do the thing that couples do, to be there for her husband, to satisfy her husband, because that's if there's no. I'm a firm believer. If there's no sex, that's when people drift. That's when people stray. That's when problems come, and they'll blame it on money. They'll blame it on this. They'll blame it on kids. They'll blame it on mother-in-laws. But at the end of the day, if you've had a good sex relationship, you can overcome a lot. Mm-hmm. You can really, because that's that connection that's there.
I would say that men, like this support group that we're going to form, this menopause. Menopause.
There you go.
I think being supportive in the bedroom is probably going to go a long way. Like, understanding.
Complimenting.
Yes. Creating the scenario, like maybe a little bit of an environment going on. Or
say thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, just when you know that you've been well satisfied in the bedroom, and you know, because every man knows that the woman has not been satisfied, you better be considerate and say, I really appreciate the unselfishness or selflessness of what you I don't word it like that because that sounds
right.
tackling, but just be sweet, guys. What the fuck? Just be sweet, be considerate, and at the end of the day, just do something nice, because that's not her duty at no means, but she did that for you. And if you don't recognize that, then you're...
This is refreshing conversation. This is good to find a man that talks like that. What's one thing that you could do? We'll use Robin, for example. What's one thing that you could do to make her feel sexy?
That's a good question, because I compliment her a lot. I do, I think I do. I like to think I do, but I think this is going to sound petty, but I think the one thing when she's like we're empty nesters, so we just have 2 lap dogs, and we don't have thank God we don't have a lot of dishes anymore that are dirty piled up in the sink. So it's just a couple dog bowls or whatever. So she'll just be sitting by the sink or dumping or cooking. I'll just walk up behind her and pull her hair back and kiss her on the shoulder and say I love you. And
that's good.
Yeah, look, you look great. Just whatever, just a little compliment out of the blue. If it's in the bedroom, guys, this is for the guys out there. If you're in the moment and you give your wife a compliment, that's not your brain and heart talking. That's it. So you give the unexpected compliment and flattering that you can give your wife when it's not expected is probably the sexiest thing you can do.
It's absolutely.
So I think that makes her feel sexy. So we had a really cute story. If you have time,
yeah,
a little cute story. She was wanting to. She's always trying to. I think she's beautiful, but she's always trying to make herself pretty, and I greatly appreciate that. Whatever you need to do. Does the eyelashes, does the hair, does the wax, whatever women do, and whatever that I've been in for that from that. So I don't have any objection. I don't care what it costs. Whatever you need to do to make yourself happy. But she has known her hair guy, Major, great guy by the way. Has known him for years. I think she used to babysit him, or I don't know the story. He's a little bit younger, great guy. But she was ready for a hairstyle change. So I'm texting him, I'm like, hey, this is me and your decision right here. So I said, I want this color, and then these are like 5 or 6 hairstyles and thing. He goes, I like this one. I'm like, me too. And then she chimed in on the. I'm like, this has nothing to do with you. This is between me and Major. And she went with the hairstyle and the color, and he'll do a little bit more because it was a drastic change, and but he'll do more with it next time. But she looked stunning, and and she was happy. And those were things. It was just a kind of funny story between me and Major, but it was those things like that. Just encourage your wife to go do things that she wants to do, and give her time to go. I mean, like she went out. Robin, when I was out of town, goes out with one of her girlfriends and goes to the wine bar. Encourage that, guys. Just you don't have to be up her butt all the time. If you travel, and you like me, and you come back into town, then. If your wife doesn't want to spend time with you when you've gone out of town and you come back, then you got other issues, dude. You got to figure that shit out.
That's a problem.
But yeah, I mean, Robin wants to be, we wanted to hang out and whatever, so that's a good thing. So encourage that. That helps with the.
I like that. I think that's really good because sometimes like men, when women at this age we start wanting to do Botox and the eyelashes and everything and. It's seen almost as selfish, but it's not. It's because we don't feel good anymore, and we're trying to. And then women, I'm sorry, women, I'm one of you. We don't age nearly as well as you guys do. And so we're just trying to keep up, and we just want you to be like happy and look at us desirably, and so. I think I appreciate that you would say you would encourage that. I think that's awesome.
It should be encouraged. But men at the same time need to I don't take the best care of myself. I could stand to lose another 25, 30 pounds, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to watch what I eat. I'm not getting my alcohol. That's not going to happen. But I try and watch what I eat. I don't exercise like I should, but I try and stay moving around. And I fired my lawn guy because if I do my own lawn, that's a little bit of exercise. I'm getting just little things like that. But guys, you've got to be aware. I've had Botox. I've had some plastic surgery just for things that happened in my life, weight loss and stuff like that. But it's you got to take care of yourself as well.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah, but it's. If the woman wants it more, your Botox doesn't. You're this right here. I would love to go get Botox for this and get rid of this line right here. But if my wife bought Botox, she comes first because that makes her feel good. And if this sounds silly, I hear old guys say this: happy wife, happy life.
It's true.
It's dead true. It's solid. That's a solid piece of advice.
There's
right there.
very little advice in this world that's solid and stands the test of time. That does.
Yeah. If she's not happy, then no one's happy. I can't function if Robin's not. If we're not clicking, like we had our business, and we'd have a little spat. It doesn't matter how small. A little spat the day before. I can't function the next day thoroughly if my better half is not happy. I can't. That's what I need to fix, and I think she appreciates that about me. I want to fix things. Now, we've been married for a good while, so sometimes some things don't need to be fixed with her. It will just pass with a good night's sleep, or a simple joke, or watch a comedy show, and then it pass. You pick those things that you need to fix. That's what I've learned. I try to fix everything early in our relationship. If I said something wrong, I want to fix that. And I'll get over the top with it. But now, as you mature and you're secure in your relationship, you gotta that will play a big part. I just think this is true. It plays a big part when that menopause happens.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
If you don't set that foundation for that loving, strong, supportive relationship and selfless, is that right? Selflessness on the man's part in the bedroom, then you're gonna have a tough road if it's a bad menopause. And
All right, I'm going to hit you with a couple of rapid fire questions.
Okay.
All right, if you could pick one emoji, you better guess. If you could pick one emoji to use that would be representative of, that was a big word that came out of my mouth.
Yeah,
representative of menopause, what would that emoji be?
The little, and I got it already picked out, so I'm gonna stay with that. But I'll just say I'm not good with the emoji things. My daughters correct me all the time that I send the wrong. Like I thought this was prayers, and I just learned that's high five.
What? This?
Yeah.
I thought that was prayers and thank you.
No, the prayers like this. That's high five.
That's not like thank you so much.
Prayers.
I thought it was prayers. I've sent
like,
high fives
to
apparently a lot of people that have been in the hospital, and I'm like, oh no, and I'm like. It looks like prayers. I'm sticking with prayers.
No, I think it's. I've never heard that's the.
But they had these little emojis that got just that one eye's literal down and or something's looking this way. I'm like, I don't know what that one means, so I'm not sending that. So the one I'm thinking about was the crazy eyes with the tongue out and it looks all thing. That's I would say that's menopause.
When you're looking at the emojis, you have your readers on so you can see what you're
you want me
looking
to point
at.
Some emojis?
No.
One of the top searches in my Google is emoji meanings, because I'll get emoji. We have the 6 kids between us, and then we have a daughter-in-law, and that's how you communicate with this generation. We communicate with text and stuff like that. And my stepson's 25th birthday is today, and we don't talk so much. Me and him communicate with TikToks. Like we just. What are you feeling now? What do you mean? It just that's why with all the daughters. My youngest stepdaughter has cats, and she's the most strongest independent. Oh God, that she's bound for glory. But right now I communicate and I send her funny cat videos. She might not respond for 3 weeks, but that's how that goes. We don't. But it's the emojis. I'm constantly Googling what the hell does that mean. Am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? If
you could give menopause a name, it could be something that's out there, a name of a movie, or something like that, or create a name. What would you call it? If you had to give a name to your journey with Robin and
Mission
menopause.
Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Oh, that's good. That's really good. I like it. That just became the
Ghost Protocol. No.
That just became.
It depends. You're either going to need John Wick on your side if it's a bad menopause, or you're gonna you're gonna need a cartoon character. I don't know.
I like Mission Impossible. That's good.
Something like that.
All right, if you could use a cocktail, or even just a straight liquor, whatever you want, as like your I'm going to say the word again. Representative
I like it.
Of menopause. You got to put a cocktail to it, or a drink, or anything. Doesn't have to be alcoholic.
Kamikaze.
Again, so good, so witty.
That's not a question there.
A kamikaze. I like that.
It's going to be. That says it all. I mean, normally you'd say tequila or lemon. I don't know, whatever. Kamikaze.
Kamikaze. I like it.
So
one of the guests said Bloody Mary. I thought that was awesome.
That's pre-menopause.
That's Perry.
That's Perry.
Okay. Theme song to describe this with you and Robin, or just what you went through.
That's a good, because I'm not a music guy, so I'm not a song guy. So
you can sing it.
No,
you can do a little drum beat, and we'll pick it up.
Show would get canceled. A theme song for menopause.
Well, just your experience with Robin during this.
It's always been Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
Really?
Yeah, but that's not the case for every menopause.
That's not the case when the IUD comes out and the demons fly.
No, that's that's Highway to Hell. That'd be
perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's
perfect.
My case, it would be way subtle. I mean, it would be TNT or something like that. But Highway to Hell, that's probably the most accurate.
I've created a Spotify playlist for the Hellfire Show, and every guest gives me a song. And now we've got this running list on Spotify, so now Highway to Hell's going on it too.
That would probably describe most of them. So,
any last advice before we go for your fellow gentlemen out there, and or women, that you haven't already covered?
I can't advise to women, but if I could make a suggestion.
Yes.
Because it's not advice. I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to give them advice.
Okay.
So if I can make a suggestion.
I like that.
Okay. Take your husband or significant other with you. And this goes to all couples, women and women, because women and women, just because they're with a woman, they still going to go through menopause. So, and just because your woman companion or spouse or whatever hasn't gone through it yet doesn't mean she's prepared for it just because she's a woman.
Right.
So I would encourage to take the suggestion we take them to the OBGYN when you're starting that conversation with your OBGYN so they can hear what's going on.
That is solid.
And be prepared as well. And then men, just read up on it. If you're not reading, if you're not a Googler, if you're not a MD person, like my Robin's a full-fledged doctor on Google. And so she knew all this stuff was going to happen. And she didn't need the IUD demon holder. She didn't know that part. But I would say just educate yourself and then pack your patience and be sweet, be considerate. If you don't...
I would say the same thing to women, though. I don't think we're so focused, and we should be, on what's going on with us, but we should also give a little grace to the men in our lives.
During menopause?
Well, yeah.
No, you can't.
You have to give a little grace saying, like, I know I'm crazy. So, same thing. Every once in a while, I should be the one to just, I love you. I'm just going to give you a little kiss out of nowhere or something.
During menopause?
Yeah, when your hormones are going crazy, we need to give a little grace,
too. I had a mild menopause. We're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. I had a mild menopause with my wife. I say I had a menopause. I did not. She had a mild case. During that time, even after the IUD thing, there was no sweetness, no kiss on the cheek, or nothing like that from her. And I would imagine during a woman's menopause, it's really bad. There's no sweetness. You're gonna have to let that shit play out. My thought. I don't know how.
Well, I'm just saying we have to understand that we are demons sometimes. Or
then I would suggest again, condition yourself. Brain memory, that's what you need to think about and think that if this happens, I need to do this.
Oh, I think your advice, though, I think that's solid advice, though, that every couple should do. The man should go.
When those talks are going on.
Yeah, they should go. They should get informed.
But there's private things, too, that women don't want. I mean, there's Robin's gone, and I don't need to be there for some of these conversations and whatever, but when there's something health-wise or something, menopause, because it could definitely relate to the man's health and how he lives.
Well, it could really affect the marriage.
Right, it could. So go, and if you can, that's great. Get that information.
Go to the doctor with your wife or your partner.
Do you want me to go and just ask? Do you want me to go with you? Every man should know.
Me?
No. Every man should know when your wife's going to the doctor.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
My wife knows when I'm going to pick up my eyeglasses or something. You should. If you don't have that communication in your marriage, and that you don't know your wife's going to the doctor, or she doesn't know, y'all got other problems.
You just said it. It's not even the I'm coming, because some women would be like, I don't want you at the end. But just the simple, do you want me to go? It's all. I think.
I know you don't need me there, sweetie, but is there something that I need to be supported?
Is it beneficial?
I want to support you, whatever, just do you need me to go there?
Love that.
Yeah, so guys, do your part. It's the women are going to go through it. The men, you're not going through shit. Don't think you're going through shit. You're not going through it. It's the woman's going through it. So be considerate and do your work during it.
Good.
So,
Stephen, it's been, as always, a pleasure. We're going to go drink kamikazes and play a little AC/DC after this. We're going to just drive with Highway to Hell and go. We got to pick up Robin, though.
Well, thank you for having me.
Cheers. Ooh.
And you need to get Fireball to sponsor your show.
Yeah, Fireball. If you're out there. Yeah.
Because I bought enough Fireball, I should have stock in your company.
if you like what Stephen and I talked about, please do follow us, the Kelfire Show, on social media. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Watch us on YouTube and subscribe. And I'd love for Stephen, maybe Robin. Maybe Robin should come on next. Oh, that's a great idea. Robin, come